Welcome back to Franchise Hockey Manager 10 with the Montreal Canadiens Return to Glory 2034-2035 season. If you're last with us, you would have seen that we managed to go all the way to the finals, only to then lose the eventual winners. We'll show you how we got there. We ended up going to Game 6 before losing 4-2. We were pretty dominant in the East. We ended up beating Toronto 4-2. We ended up then sweeping Florida 4-0. And then we ended up beating Philly 4-1, only to lose 4-2. And Chicago looked pretty dominant 4-1, 4-3. I mean, you could have flipped the coin, and Nashville could have been the team that we ended up facing. And then they had a hard time against Edmonton as well, but not too much. Transaction-wise, we didn't really do anything. We just extended players. No trades really. We did trade for the rights of Mullen, but that is about it. Currently, our roster looks like this. So we have Ivan Kovic and Levi there, and then Thorne is now in the AHL as well. But pretty much all our strong players. Suzuki looks like it's going to be his last year. I don't see him really being able to stay with us. I'm really hoping he just decides to retire. But we have Pearden, Suzuki, Provnazic. Then we have Borik, Gunnarsson, Demidov. I think we need to reset this, actually. Give me a sec. Yeah, so we're currently $2 million under the cap, or around $3 million under the cap. So we could add someone a little bit later. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So it looks like they didn't... Suzuki's not even playing at the moment, so he might end up... Yeah, he might end up retiring this year for sure, because he's not good enough to start for us. But we're still going to carry his cap. We're not going to buy him out. We're going to let him retire like a man. What we should have done with Price at the very beginning. So we have Levi as our backup. Ivan Kovic now taking the starting role. Borik, Proviznik, Laycap as our back. Then we have Slakowski, Gunnarsson, and Ikonikov for our third line there. Gunnarsson looks like he's probably going to be having his last year with us as well. I don't know if we can afford him. I'm going to have to do the math before next season to see if we can actually afford him. But he is a pretty good third line center there. Then we have Cole Caulfield, Celebrini, and Carlson. And then Pearden, Benson, and Deminov at the top. But I'm pretty sure we're going to probably swap it with Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield's definitely more prone to being on the top there. We'll just switch it now. And then we have Gustin, Stranad, Sharp, and Vernhoff, and then Lundqvist and Huang as our top there. Sharp kind of taking a step down, and Lundqvist taking his role there. So that I find a little bit interesting. And then currently, this is what the media prediction that they have for us. We are currently favorite again, despite last season. And it looks like... Still don't understand how Brad Traveling still has a job with the Leafs, but they don't look that good. They just look balanced. And then Santala looks like he's likely going to win the scoring race as well. And then that's pretty much all they have to show for us. Just a quick look at let's see actually where our goalie ended up going. If he ended up going anywhere. Ended up losing him last season. Let's take a look. See if he's still playing. Last year. And I'm not sure. He is currently, oh, he's still with Calgary. Signed a 2-year extension for $9 million. I kind of, at least I know that he would have signed 2 more years, but he didn't have the greatest year, but that might be because they're still rebuilding. And I think they still have Massar on here as well. Or, yeah, they still have Massar as well. He had 64 points last season, so we're kind of hoping a little bit better from him as well. But hopefully we can meet our backup team pretty much in the finals. So let's see how well we do for this season. And the 2034-2035 season has reached its end. We finished with 49 wins, good for second in the Atlantic. 27 losses and 6 in OT, which in terms of our history, it's right around track. I mean, we managed to do over 100 points for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight seasons. Not bad. We finished first in all those ones, but we managed to finish second this time. Not too bad. Cole Caulfield, as you can see there, ended up getting a milestone, but he is regressing pretty quickly at 34. He's very close to being our goal leader. He has 527. After this season, he should be beating Maurice Richard. And then for points leader, he's still around 200 away from Guy Lafleur, which, I mean, unless he ends up playing for a little bit longer, it's going to be difficult to do at the rate that he did this season, because he kind of dropped off and did half as what he normally does. But that's because the AI ended up setting him up, I think, at a lower line. But we'll take a quick look at how well we did in terms of our players. 72 points was the most with Zach Benson. Demidov came in second with 66 in 80 games. 27 goals, not too bad. Slavkovsky showed up with 64, but right around kind of averages to what he normally does. And then Vernhoff with 57, Celebrini with 54, Puritan with 52, which we might get rid of after this season. Carlson got 52 as well. Gunnarsson got 50, who's a free agent after the season as well. Stranad got 48, so a lot coming from the defense in this year. Cole Caulfield with 48, and Lundqvist ended up beating him, or coming close to beating him, with 44, which is kind of odd for a defender. So it looks like this year the defense is just showing up a lot more. Konikov, rookie, or after his rookie season, 39 points. He's now down to a 4-star potential. I think I saw him at 5. And even Sharp there doing pretty decent. In terms of our goalies, though, Ivan Kovic solidifying his role as the starter, but we might end up relying on Devin Levi for the playoffs. I mean, save percentage is very close, 900 and 914, so it's, I mean, not that close, but it's in terms of the wins, though. 13, 5, and 2 is pretty good. Goals against is actually worse. No, we might actually keep Ivan Kovic for the playoffs. But going back to the standings in the league, we did finish 4th in the league, so it's just the East is much more difficult. The top 4 teams are in the East. That is scary. And then even Preds, Coyotes, and then you have both our other teams as well. So it looks like, taking a look at the wild card, Tampa Bay is our worst team with 98 points. That is insane. So in terms of the West as well, 98 points. So our bottom team could have probably made it in the Western Pacific. They definitely would have made it there. And they could have even almost finished first. So yeah, this this East year is going to be very difficult to do anything with. So I'll put money on it right now. The winner of this season is going to come from the East. There's no other way to think of it. No nominations here. Oh, Cole Puritan ended up getting the Selke for nominations there, and that looks like it's it. So we'll fast forward to the end of the playoffs and see where we are at there. And it turns out the champion did come from the East. The 2034-2035 Stanley Cup champion is Montreal Canadiens once again. That, I believe, is our 5th. And how we got this way, we ended up starting off, we took out Ottawa Senators, a rival, I believe. In 4 games, we swept them. Then we ended up going to Game 7 against Tampa Bay, beat them, and then only to beat 4 straight against Devils. We managed to win the last 3 straight against Tampa too, and then we managed to win all the 4 games that we needed to against Ottawa Senators. The crazy part of this was Tampa Bay ended up taking out probably the team that we would have struggled against the most. But then again, we did struggle against them as well to go to Game 7. But pretty insane, the just being able to sweep them, or sweep Ottawa and then face off against probably what I would have thought that was the conference finals there. Jack Hughes, unfortunately, not getting any cups as of yet. They managed to dominate 4-1, 4-2, only to lose 4-2. And in shocking result, Chicago didn't end up making it to the finals or winning. They didn't even finish that well in the regular season. But Arizona, just light work of them. They end up beating Winnipeg 4-2. Arizona then beat Chicago 4-1, only to beat Anaheim 4-1, only to get swept by us. Not fair. I don't. I kind of feel bad for them. Arizona's come a long way. Finally, in 2035, they're somewhat competitive. But we're going to take a quick look at how well our players did in the playoffs. We have Benson with 21 points in 21 games. So kind of the same thing as last year. We didn't really have anyone that did over the point per game total. Carlson showing up, that pays huge dividends. He did pretty well throughout the season, a little bit better than last year as well. Cole Smith, who, I mean, didn't really even play that much for us in the regular season, somehow managing to break into it with 15 points in 20 games. Ikonikov with 15 in 21. Gunnarsson with 15 and 21 as well. Slavkovsky and Sharp both with 14. Demidov kind of falling off, not being his dominant self, but his grade was still 72, so he definitely produced in other ways. But 13 and 21 is still pretty good. Pearden with 12 and 21. Boric with 12 and 21 as well. And then Vernhoff and Cole Caulfield kind of, he seems to struggle on the third line. Hopefully next year when Pearden ends up leaving, because I don't think we're going to end up signing him for the last year. We're going to just trying to do people who were drafted by us, just because it's going to be the last season that we end up doing as Montreal Canadiens, and then we're going to move on. And then Suzuki gladly played one game and got an assist there, so we're very happy with that. In terms of goalies, let's see how well Ikonikov or Ivan Kovic ended up doing in net. 16, 4, and 1. He had a 923 save percentage. So, oh my god. 221 goals against. So we were right to have hope in him. He started off, I don't even think we ended up getting, we drafted him in the third. Then we traded him for the rights of Vernhoff. And then Toronto didn't end up keeping him. So then we ended up signing him to a 3-year contract the year after. I don't think he was the moving piece of that, but it was the rights to it. But they didn't end up wanting him. And he even made the All-Star game in 2035, which is this year. So he ended up moving on pretty well. Let's take a look at how, since I'm pretty sure it's going to be Suzuki's last year here, unfortunately. He just kind of fell off a cliff in terms of his stats as well. But we're going to look at it in terms of the points. You have Suzuki, who's going to finish his career in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going to be 7th place in terms of points. But currently, I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5th in assists, though. So he is top 5 in assists. Pretty good. We're going to thank you, Suzuki, for being our captain. You did very well with us. You managed to lead us to 5 cups. We're just going to double check that. I'm pretty sure it's 5 cups. We won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 cups. I think 7 or 8 finals in 12 years, I believe. Cole Caulfield's still there, but we'll take a look at the playoffs points as well, which I feel as though is going to really kind of showcase it. Cole Caulfield in first with 200 and 214 games, so almost a point per game in the playoffs. That's insane. That's number 1. Suzuki ends up finishing top 3 there. Demidov breathing down his neck, though, so Demidov will probably pass him next year. But that is insane. In terms of points, assists, he kind of slots down. In terms of goals, yeah, he's not really the top 3 for there. But he is top 3 in terms of points currently, which we couldn't be happier. Cole Caulfield, being the franchise leader, is massive as well. Slavkovsky there, Benson there as well. Let's see if there's anyone that we remember. Vernhoff is there, Celebrini, Sharp. So everyone that we kind of kept. Lafreniere, also 76 and 96. How well is he doing right now? He didn't do very well this year with the Red Wings, getting knocked out. That is kind of disappointing as well. And that seems like it's it. Let's look at the goalies. And we'll take a look at some of the players that that played with us for a little bit. So win leader is Ottinger. And Ivan Kovic not doing 17 wins is pretty good. But that's just one regular season. We'll see how well, or one starting postseason. And I feel as though he might. I mean, he could. If we manage to somehow win next year, he could be top 10 there. But Carey Price with 41 and 41 losses. I thought he was a little bit better than that. But we'll take a look at some of the players that we end up parting ways with. Massar being one of them. I think he's still on. Calgary there. So he mentioned 77 points. That is way better than he's definitely flourished since he's left us. He ended up getting 83 points, 58, 37 there, 64, and then 77 just this past season. That is massive. We'll look up rubric. Oh, rubric. Yeah, there we go. What? Is this the same one? Can't be the same one. No, I think it's ROE. Alright, we'll have to take a look at our transactions. I think it was last year we lost them. Or the year before. Oninger, yeah, rubric here. Rubric is currently with St. Louis. Yeah, that was the team that we ended up trading him to. He got 69 points and 73. So he definitely stepped up as well. Go back to here because it's probably easier for us to find the players that we lost. Kashig, I don't think probably played. Yeah, he didn't really play that much. And let's see the other one that we end up. Prudhomme, yeah. Prudhomme, and then I think Janicek as well. Prudhomme not doing too bad. He ended up going to the Red Wings, but then got traded to Carolina. His grade is pretty good, 66 in there. Oh no, he just signed, so he didn't. He ended up signing for what? 4 million? So that's way more than what we even asked for him. And then we'll take a look at St. Louis, who I think, 62 grade, but he ended up getting 55 and 51 in 82 games. So doing around the same that he did with us, but he's a 5-star potential that we end up losing for a second. And then Janicek is going to be the last one here with 60 and 61 there with 39. Same points for 2 years in a row. But looking at our depth for next year, we just have the first, and then we have 2 seconds, which aren't going to be worth that much anyways. But we have Popov that will probably make his debut. Mullen, who might. Halloran's probably going to end up starting next season, and Hollis as well. Taking a look at our finances, though. It doesn't show it there. We'll look at our roster currently. We were paying 80 million, and next season obligations are going to be 5 million less. So we are going to lose Suzuki probably. Gunnarsson we won't re-sign. We'll probably just try and trade his rights, and Cage Smith as well. Even though he ended up, let's see what he would want. 2.7 is not the worst. Take that. And then Devin Levi will just end up letting go and kind of carry on with Ivan Kovic. Holmertz didn't end up starting for us, so we'll probably just end up letting him go as well. So we'll jump for the last season and see how well we manage to do in the 2035-2036 season. which will be the last season that we end up doing as the leader of Montreal Canadiens. But we'll do a look quick at our stats. And 566 wins. So we have a chance to get 600 wins there. And 992 games. Not too bad. That is massive. So we've done 3, 3, 9, and then 12. So it'll be our 13th season that we end up coming back for. So hopefully you guys have liked the series so far. But it's going to be the end next episode with Canadiens, and then we'll start a whole new franchise. Let me know if there's any franchise you want us to decide to do. We might end up taking up on it either this series or the next time that we end up doing it. So thank you everyone for watching, and until next time.